Y'all, welcome to the ancient city of Tripoli, the second largest city in all of Lebanon and the largest in the north. Now, this ancient city that was first civilized in the 14th century BCE, we're going to go all throughout it and really focus on old school family traditional places. We're going to head into the old souks, go to a lot of eateries all throughout it. We're going to see old bathhouses, and we're even going to go outside the souks to show you one of the most famous sweet spots, not only in just Tripoli, but all of Lebanon. And to finish off the day, you can't be right next to the Mediterranean Sea and not enjoy the seafood, so we're gonna go get some seafood at the end of the day as well. Hope you're excited. We're with Nico for another one. Let's get it started. Okay, and why not start out Tripoli with some sweets? We're here at Halab. It is a family generation since 1881. It is the place you have to come for sweets when you're in Tripoli. First thing I was not expecting, look at everybody. Everybody is suited up, ready to go. They are all business about the sweets here.
Famous Kunafa with ashta cream, different than the one with cheese. They have cheese, but they have ashta cream as well.
Now when you get the headband, the hairband, you know it's getting serious. I need a big one, I need an extra large one, because my head's so dang big.
Sweet and cheese, and you'll see how the dough making, how they make this cheesy dough, and they add ashta cream inside.
خذ ريحتك كيف بدك من هون.
So this actually has a heating system to it, and what they're doing is putting that local cheese in there, heating it up. It's creating that liquid. At the bottom is a little hole where they can push out that liquid, so they're trying to drain all that liquid out of the cheese. Oh man, don't do this at home, kids. Add a little water, sugar, butter, and semolina flour in there and heating it up. I do not recommend putting your hand in there. Oh, the aroma from that is insane. That nuttiness from the semolina, that butter, the cheese, the oils from that cheese are heating up. Now you throw a little bit of that sugar on it, get a little sweetness to it, and he's working it, just trying to get that circumference you want. Almost look like he's trying to make a little pie crust. Oh, the first time I've ever seen that before. He whipped it and covered it so he got that air in there. And then put more of that syrup mixture on top. It just easily went everywhere. He's made this a little balloon. It's a hot air balloon. He made a cheese dough hot air balloon. My brain's really messed up right now. I don't know if it's like the gluten in the semolina, the cheese, how it's sticking so well. We've been here like 5 minutes. It hasn't lost any air.
Take one.
So this place is really famous for its clotted cream, and all clotted cream is when you heat up like a full cream or full fat milk and let it cool slowly, you'll have these little clots rise to the top and you skim that off, and that's what it is. I'm gonna give this a little try right here. Ooh. Oh, there's a light, delicate, melt in your mouth clotted cream, but there's a floorness to it. I think their syrup has some rose water in it, which is typical Lebanese style. Just a touch of sweetness, nothing overpowering. But then the texture of that wrapper It's almost like a fine mesh cloth. I've never had a texture quite like that before. It just feels like little tiny fabrics that have been intertwined together, and then you just kind of get this like indulgent, nutty cheese flavor. This is just going back to my days when I used to actually play sports. What she's wrapping it in looks like the bandage wrap you use to like wrap ankles and stuff in. So not one, but two fries in different temperature oils. Gonna start off a little lower temperature and then hit it with that super high heat before going into the thick syrup mixture. Wow, did you see that syrup mixture? It's so thick that when he threw them on top, they didn't sink at all. You have to have something to push them down because it's so viscous. Yo, so this place legit feels like a Willy Wonka factory for Lebanon sweets. I mean, it's floors everywhere. You go up to the dining room and it's built like the architecture, ancient architecture throughout Tripoli, and there's food here, and you go in, there's multiple layers of people making all different types of sweets. It's just a heck of an establishment.
والله عم تحرجني لقاله انا مش قادر اكل. لا شو هي هاي على السمن الحموي. اوكي.
And they have given us a sampler plate here. So we got the cheese one, which we've already tried. We got the kunafa with the ashta, the whole reason we came here. Here's the frozen ashta they wrapped and fried. This is mamul. We had this already, but this is like a tray version of it. And the big old tray, a pistachio version of it. Another kunafa in the middle that looks like they've almost taken that semolina, mixed it with syrup, and like cooked it and made a little toffee and more of that clotted cream on top. I think for me, let's go ahead and get the fried one while we're here. A little bit, almost like some type of rose on the top. Look at that. Now we usually would go hands in, but I had to show y'all that crunch factor. Taking that phyllo dough, wrapping the ashta in there, frying it, keeping it frozen so it actually doesn't get too runny. You see, that clotted cream is still pretty uniform in there. That crunch, the creaminess, just a milky, creamy texture on the inside. And what's not to love? Now to go what we came for, that kunafa, that semolina dough. Even getting some pistachio with that. The semolina dough just holding on. That's been formed together from cooking and butter. You put it in your mouth, it just melts and dissolves like brown sugar, but it's not overly sweet. The main reason you come here is a handmade, high quality clotted cream. Yeah, it looks like you got like a semolina rich cookie dough batter. I must say I've not hit every spot in Lebanon yet, but that is definitely a front runner on the sweets for me. Oh gosh, look at this. Not one, but two. They are insane. It's good. I'm so happy to see this castle and like nothing's ever changed. Like these people are still just as hospitable, hardworking. It's good to see. It gives me, I don't know, it just makes me so incredibly happy to see the people are still sticking to like where they came from, and wow. So we've made it down to the old souks. You can see just the tight corners, the way it's kind of covered with drapes and everything. You can see the old stone buildings that have been put together with some type of mud. It's a true ancient feel down here.
Famous Lebanese meat. And they add
سندويشات اخذنا وب20
ready for this mix.
Oh yeah, I've been reading about it.
And turnip pickles.
So first thing we got for is the morkahim. It's a traditional, very special occasion dish in Lebanon. What it is they actually use the pearl couscous for it, which is the largest couscous variety that I know of. They're going to cook it up with chickpeas, sauteed onions, and a lot of spices. When you get close to it, you can already smell the cinnamon and the cumin right away. They're going to fry that up, and they made it into a street food version by wrapping it into a pita. And the owner in front, I think this is his great-great-grandfather. I don't know how many greats I need, but he actually started making the morkahim, which is the actual dish. The plate, things got on the plate there. They have records of him making it back in 1880. So truly something, a family generational little setup stall here. And no wonder you can smell the cinnamon. They got it fresh over here, just wafting throughout the walls of this building. And I actually don't know how long this man's been here, but I know when you come to Tripoli and you get in these old souks, he's like the person you have to get this from. And when you get close and you smell all those spices and aromas just waft your way, it's clear why. I mean, you could not walk by the stall without having to try this. It just brings you in like a black hole. Wow. That's a carb-on-carb street food treat. So that couscous is actually made from a semolina, so it's mild, it's nutty. The textures on this, they're so different. While the chickpeas become creamy, those little couscous balls got just a little bit of bounce doughiness to them, and then the break up and contrast with that crunchy pickled turnip and actual pickle. You gotta be careful not to drop this because all these balls, you're just kind of like balancing it while you eat this as well. A lot of people come here just buying like the frozen ready to go so they can take it home and cook it up, but really he's using such high quality spices, the cinnamon, the cumin, the caraway, all the notes coming through on this.